It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another teaser trailer breakdown for the upcoming episode of The Walking Dead, Season 10, Episode 19, which is called One More. Stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this teaser down. Alright, as always, if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to join our community, share and smash the like button, and press the bell to be notified when we upload. With that said, let's dive right into this breakdown. So we're gonna actually take a look at the main teaser that they released, and I'm also going to talk briefly about two other sneak peeks that they released from this episode. Obviously, this episode is going to be a Father Gabriel and Aaron-centric episode. It's gonna see them scavenge on their own, and they're going to be trying to find some supplies. The first shot we have is actually this shot of Father Gabriel saying 1, 2, and then 3, and then both Gabriel and Aaron pull on this walker's arms and they just fall to the ground. Nothing much to say about this, and even the way it was with the music, they wanted it to be like comedic, so there isn't really too much to say about that. Then we have this shot of an open door, Father Gabriel and Aaron approaching it, and then we have this shot of the two of them watching this walker get up right here, and then we have this shot of Gabriel hitting this walker in the head with a machete. It's a pretty awesome shot of him. And then we have this shot of Aaron and Gabriel. They're inside some sort of a safe building. They're playing cards, they're drunk, and I think that based on the description of the episode and based on an interview that Ross Marquand, who plays Aaron, did, which is actually on the teaser itself, he says that this episode is going to explore Gabe and Aaron's fun side a little bit because they're joking around, they're drunk, so I'm assuming we're gonna see a lot of kind of scenes in this episode that don't really feel like The Walking Dead, and I think that that was done on purpose because they want you to explore the different layers of these two characters who are otherwise not as fun, who like to play games and things like that. And then we have this shot of Gabriel and Aaron sitting by a table. They're eating some food and they're drinking. As we're gonna learn later on based on the sneak peek, they're eating boar, so that's very interesting. How did they come across it? That remains to be seen. We have this shot of Gabe saying cheers to Aaron, the two of them taking a sip of the drink, and then Aaron says wow. Goes back to what I said, they're making it be a little more comedic. Maybe that's just the way that the teaser comes off, but that's the vibe that I'm getting based on the teaser. And the vibe is that I think we're gonna see a little bit more of a fun episode, at least for the first half of this episode. If I'm going to be making any sort of prediction about how the episode is gonna be structured. Then we have this pretty interesting shot of Gabe smiling. It's a pretty weird smile, so that's interesting. Then we have this shot of the two of them. They're just drunk and they can't really kind of keep their balance. And then we have this shot of Gabe sleeping, and then Aaron wakes up, and that's where the teaser even takes a bit of a turn because we have Gabriel looking around, the music gets intense, and then Aaron and Gabe looking around. We have this shot of them just looking around the building, seeing who's there because they just heard something. Aaron says hello. We have this shot of Gabriel looking at, I think, the food that they had. Not sure why they would be looking inside a cabinet like this, so I'm assuming that they're just looking to make sure their food is there. And if I'm going to make another prediction, maybe their food gets stolen or something. Then we have this shot of Aaron, and then this shot of Aaron and Gabriel. They find a Bible, which is interesting. We've seen the table read from this episode, and the idea of burning Bibles comes into the conversation in that table read. So I'm assuming that this is related to that. So that's extremely interesting. We have the two of them here. They see something, and we have Gabe here, and then we have Gabe here again. He hears something and turns around, and that's where he sees this figure right here. We actually get a reveal about who that person was. It's none other than this guy right here. This guy, of course, is Robert Patrick. He's going to be portraying the role of a character named Maze. There's been a lot of discussion and speculation about who he is, but as far as the trailer goes, doesn't really reveal too much. But the one thing that we need to keep in mind is that he has a burn on his face, so that may or may not be significant. And then we have this shot of Gabriel still staring into May's eyes, and that's where the trailer ends. Now, with that, there's also a sneak peek that they released, which is pretty much that exact scene that we just saw, which is Gabriel walking around, he hears something, turns around, and sees this guy right here holding an AK-47. So Maze has an AK-47, which is very, very interesting. Again, at this stage in the apocalypse, not a lot of people have these kind of advanced weapons. So the fact that he has an advanced weapon, or not advanced, but a weapon like that, is very, very interesting. And it kind of brings up the conversation whether there's any sort of connection between Maze and the group that was introduced in the very first bonus episode, 1017. And that group was the Reapers. I've done some videos on that, so I'm not going to get into it, but it is very, very interesting that these two kind of connect like that. Now, in terms of the sneak peek that they released, there's like a short dialogue between Maze and Gabriel. Maze asks Gabe, "What were you eating?" And then Gabe kind of asks what in a surprised way, because that's a weird question to ask. And then he asks the question again, and then Gabe responds with, "We were eating a boar," hence why I said they were eating a boar earlier on in the breakdown. And then Maze says, "How did it taste?" And then Gabe says, "It was good." And then Maze says, "I would like some." So that's very interesting, and it kind of goes back to what I said about the fact that maybe someone stole their food. So that could or could not happen, but it could relate to what Maze is saying here. But that's pretty much it for this first sneak peek. The second sneak peek that we have is Aaron and Gabe, and this is, I think, right after they killed some walkers with their arms coming out of this kind of doorway right here. But we have Gabriel telling Aaron that they need to go to one more place, hence the title of the episode. So they're basically going off to different locations trying to find supplies, and then Aaron kind of gets a little frustrated. Aaron says they're not going to be going to any other place that Maggie put on her goddamn map. So that's interesting. So I'm assuming that Maggie kind of spotted some areas and said that they need to go check it out, and Aaron and Gabriel are responsible for doing that, but they haven't found anything. And then there's one more spot that they need to hit, but Aaron doesn't want to because he says, quote, "I miss my daughter." That's interesting, and I'm assuming that one more spot is the place where they find the food. Maybe they find the boar that we talked about there. That's where they're probably gonna come across this new character named Maze. But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss in this video. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, make sure to share and smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to join our community and press the bell to be notified when we upload. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.